Sreedharanji is a senior disciple of Swami Parthasarathi. He has been in the study and research of ancient wisdom and its practical application in the modern world for over 23 years. His focus has been to help individuals to live life to their full potential, experiencing peace and prosperity. He is the founder of Mind and Intellect and the Vedanta Fest. He has conducted over 9,000 lectures in various parts of the world for a diverse audience. His corporate programs have benefited the World Bank, Young Presidents Organization, Entrepreneurs Organization, FICCI, Deutsche Bank, Hewlett Packard, to name the few. Health, prosperity, and happiness are the need and necessity of every human being. Our mission is to facilitate this beautiful journey to become their best version in life. Our team is small, but our vision are glorious.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. On this auspicious occasion of Gurupurnima, we offer our reverence, our profound respect, and our gratitude to the great lineage of sages and saints, rishis and yogis, teachers and gurus. On this occasion, we take up a subject and discuss about it. Last year it was a message of the masters. This year it is the Creator's Note. That's the topic you have chosen, Creator's Note. If there is a Creator and He sends you or each one of us a special note, what could that be? That was the idea behind today's topic on this great occasion of Gurupurnima. What would be the note? Any gift you offer to your Guru can never equal their gift to you, which is evolution, growth, tranquility, peace, transcendence, enlightenment. They facilitate all these beautiful experiences for a seeker. That's why in India, a teacher has been highlighted in various ways. One who provides information is called an adhyapak. One who combines information and knowledge is called an upadhyay. One who has an in-depth knowledge of a subject is called a pandit. The one who can train and impart a particular skill is called an acharya. Another one who has a visionary view of the subject is called a drishta. But the one who can invoke wisdom in you, who is able to take you from ignorance to the light, who is able to take you from where you are to that ultimate stage, is called a guru. That's probably the reason the Sanskrit word guru comes from two Sanskrit words, gu and ru, which means dispeller of darkness, remover of ignorance. A guru is one who brings in this light of wisdom. As a result, the darkness of ignorance is eradicated. That's why any gift you offer to your guru can never equal their gift to us, which is evolution, which is transcendence, which is enlightenment. That's why, friends, these masters, these great rishis and sages and saints gave the eternal truths of life for us, for all humanity to live life in the most glorious ways. And taking a few aspects to it, two equations they gave. One is, they said every human being is a combination of spirit and matter. Spirit plus matter equals a human being. That's why it is, they say the spirit is the soul, Atman or Brahman, the divine core, energy, whatever name you call, and then the matter equipments are your physical body, mind and intellect. When the Atman connects with the body, mind and intellect, there's a brilliant expression of life. Like electricity by itself has no light, no expression. A bulb by itself has no light in it. But when electricity connects with a bulb, there's a brilliant expression of light. Similarly, friends, when the divinity connects with our matter equipments, there's a fabulous expression of life. See, you see my fingers are moving now. If I cut one of the fingers and throw it on the floor, it will lie like a piece of wood. Therefore, there is something in the finger which is other than the finger, which makes the finger move. That they called it as spirit, Atman, or the God principle in us. So this is one equation for us to ponder on. Another equation is divinity plus desires equals a human being. I repeat, divinity plus desires equals a human being. So, human being minus desires equals divinity. A very simple but profound equation. Human being minus desires equals divinity. That's the reason in all the faiths, desires has been personified as the barrier standing between a human being and the Almighty, between an individual and the divine core. In Hinduism, the desires have been personified as Asura. In Buddhism, desires have been personified as Mara. In Christianity, desires have been personified as Satan. And Islam, desires have been personified as Shaitan. So, the entire spiritual process or the message of these masters is that they wanted to help us deal with the desires in a proper way. We can't bring in divinity, it is already there. All that we can do is deal with the desires in a matured way, in a refined way. And once you're able to deal with the desires, it is not suppressing desires, friends. It is dealing with it in a particular way. You improve on the processes of transcending a desire. It's a different life. Probably they gave out the best practices, yoga and meditation. When I say yoga, the Hatha Yoga, which is designed for the physical well-being of the body. Then Karma Yoga, the yoga of action, which is designed to help us perform action so that we can be productive, joyful, enjoying the work and having that sense of prosperity through work. Karma Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, one entire chapter is dedicated on Karma Yoga. That is designed for the physical body and your actions. Next is Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion, whereby you can convert your emotions into the most profound experiences. My Guru always used to say, to have emotions is beautiful, but when you become emotional, it drains you. To have sentiments is a virtue, but when you become sentimental, it affects you. So, Bhakti Yoga is a beautiful process whereby you are able to inculcate the purest of emotions. Compassion, kindness, forgiveness, gratitude. The list is endless. You can convert your negative emotions, you can deal with it and bring in these emotions. As a result, there is always a positivity when it comes to your feelings and emotions. You respond gracefully through your emotions. It could be compassion, it could be love, it could be gratitude. You respond to life's experiences in a graceful way. That is Bhakti Yoga, friends. And then Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is the yoga of knowledge designed for the intellect. In fact, a confluence of mind and intellect whereby you develop the profundity in thinking, the clarity in your choices. The great Adi Shankara gave a simple suggestion. Nitya, Anitya, Viveka, Vichara, he said. A constant discrimination between what is real and what is unreal. A constant awareness of what is transcendental and what is transient. Jnana Yoga. And when you are able to do these yogas, Hatha Yoga, Karma Yoga, whereby the work becomes worship. Friends, if you have achieved a great deal in life, it's through work. Then what should be your attitude to work? Your work must be a form of worship. For me, I may go to a place of worship, but standing here and sharing this information with you, that's worship. That's Karma Yoga for me. So, well-being of the body, Hatha Yoga, Karma Yoga for the yoga of action, designated to improve the quality of your action, Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion, designed to improve on your quality of emotion, Jnana Yoga, yoga of knowledge, which is helping you to develop that clarity in thinking, in a dexterity in your choices. And as a result, what happens is, you're very much in the world, but you're not affected by the world. You're in it, but there is a great deal of objectivity you gain in life, in dealing with the life's experiences. That's when you don't react aggressively to any life experiences, but you respond gracefully in whatever way you can. There was a great saint who lived all his life, but this one maxim, is that so? That's all. He didn't say that, but it was an attitude he pursued. Anything happening, is that so? Even in our tradition, we have this beautiful message, Tatakin, so what? I mean, it's a very refined way of living. So when you pursue the yogas carefully, with the guidance of a guru, and in the right measure, you gain a sense of objectivity, a sense of withdrawal from the world in the right way. You're very much in it, but not affected by any of it. That is what they call as renunciation. Renunciation or tyaga is not giving up, friends. It's taking up to the highest values of life. It's living the truths of life in the most profound way. Renunciation. Renunciation is growth, friends. Renunciation is moving up to the higher levels of experiences. So, the yoga pursued in the proper way helps you to get to a state of renunciation. And when you are mentally withdrawn from the preoccupations of the world, you are able to focus all your energies on the ultimate aspect of life or the truth of life. That is when you get to the state of dhyana, meditation, which is also called Raja Yoga, meditation. And let me tell you, friends, it's easy to demonstrate meditation, but extremely difficult to do meditation. I mean, I can easily demonstrate. In 5 minutes, I can demonstrate meditation. I'm a big believer in it. But all that, my guru always used to say, you should meditate, but prepare yourself to become meditative. It's like a marathon. Marathon is a beautiful exercise, but for whom is a question. So, through these processes, which is the yogas, you get to that state of tyaga, which is renunciation. And when you are in the state of renunciation for a while, it will help you to get to a state of dhyana, which is meditation. Meditation, friends, is the art of focusing your mind to a single thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts. That's meditation. And it's concentrated concentration. So, through the yogas, you get the general concentration, and you're able to gain objectivity. There is a certain sense of a mental withdrawal from the preoccupations of the world, and you're fully focused on the truths of life. That is when meditation works brilliantly. And through meditation, you transcend your desires. So, divinity plus desires equals a human being. Human being minus desires equals divinity. As I mentioned, we are not bringing in divinity into our life. We are only handling our desires. We are only dealing with it in a graceful way, in the proper way. As a result, once you transcend desires, you become one with the divinity. You are like the river, traveling all over the path and finally entering the ocean. When a river enters the ocean, it becomes the ocean. It becomes the ocean. So, probably that's the reason yoga, the Sanskrit word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root yuj, which means to join, to unite. So all attempts to get back to your source, to your originality, is called yoga in Sanskrit. So if pursued it properly, it's beautiful, friends. And that's why on the occasion of Gurupurnima, let us take a firm resolve in pursuing it. These gurus also gave a beautiful suggestion, which is to pursue the path of yoga and meditation. They also suggested the three qualities of thoughts: sattva, rajas, and tamas. Three qualities of thoughts. Sattva is a state of mind where your mind is pure, serene, peaceful, tranquil, and you are entertaining thoughts of kindness, love, gratitude, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion. So it is anyone who is sattvic in nature is a very peaceful person. Rajas is the state of mind where it's full of thoughts, aggressive thoughts. You have things to do list, not just for today, for the next few years. Things to do today. Nothing wrong. Rajas is full of activity, aggression. Tamas is a state of mind it is inclined to laziness. It takes up to lethargy. So each individual, every human being is a necessary combination of sattva, rajas, and tamas. So what these gurus highlighted is, they said, promote sattva, control rajas, and reduce your tamas. Along with that, sattva, rajas, and tamas manifest in a certain period of time. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning is the sattvic time. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. is rajasic time, full of activity. Once the sun rises, it's busy and busy all the time. 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. is tamasic time. All the partying, indulgence, everything happens after sundown. So these gurus studied the world, studied the individual, and their finding is for all humanity, friends. Therefore, it's a fascinating experience of understanding it. And when you are when you are able to pursue it, you are just promoting sattva. When you promote sattva, meaning early part of the day, when you make use of it, when I say promoting sattva, is you are aligning yourself to the 4 yogas, and as a result you are gaining a certain sense of withdrawal from the world, tyaga, renunciation. So when you are able to promote sattva, you are able to control rajas. Whenever we say controlling rajas, is not to reduce the activities of your day, but you reduce the stress levels in the activities of your day because of a sattvic quality of thoughts. So you may do much more work, but you are very less stressed because there is objectivity, there's maturity in thinking, there is concentration. So, and if you're able to do that, you also reduce tamas. When I say tamas, your indulgences drop away. It's not that you don't party. You may party, but there is no fascination for it. There is no craving for it. It's beautiful, friends. So, if you're able to do that, you're a different individual. The life is beautiful. And this is meant, these aspects are meant for us. So, my guru used to give this beautiful analogy of a pole vaulter. I'm just sharing with you. See, if you understand the the game of pole vault. There is this athlete holding a pole vault is a long stick like that, and the athlete is holding the pole vault in his hand and is firmly standing. That is, you understand your life is your responsibility. I'm equating pole vaulting sports activity to our spiritual evolution. Holding it is like you understand your life is your responsibility. And then you pick up momentum. So the pole vaulter picks up momentum. He runs with the pole. That is when you are pursuing the yogas, Hatha Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga with intensity. You are doing it. And there comes a stage where the pole vaulter pegs the pole on a particular place and raises himself. He bends the pole, raises himself. That is when you gain a certain sense of renunciation from the world. The Tyaga, you are experiencing Tyaga. You are very much, you are in the world, it's like you are holding the pole, but there is a certain sense of objectivity of gain, withdrawal you gain from the world. And there comes a stage where the athlete is face to face, eye to eye with the bar there. And that is, if you ask me, is meditation, where you almost come face to face with what that reality could be. And at that point of time, something beautiful happens. The pole vaulter drops the pole and crosses over. My Guru very profoundly states that. See, you cannot cross the bar with the pole. You cannot cross the bar without the pole. I hope you are there with me, friends. You cannot cross the bar with the pole, then it's faulty. You cannot cross the bar without the pole. You can't get there. You use the pole up to a point at the most important stage. Or it serves the purpose up to a point, and then you drop the pole, you cross over. And how do you fall? You don't break your back when you fall. There is enough and more cushion. And if you have seen that game, when a pole vaulter falls, he's literally like he's been cajoled by the cushiony drop he has. So that's what I'm telling you, friends. It's a grand experience to be born as a human being. It's a grand experience to be born as a human being. And if you are able to deal with it in a graceful way, we are all a different individual altogether, friends. So the yogas are there, the meditation, every aspect is set. So if you can understand that, when I say being all these great masters, that's why they said, can you imagine as a human being, as an ordinary Atma, you can become a Paramatma. That's why it is said every individual is divine, whether you're a sinner or a saint. So the great Vivekananda said, conquer your mind, you'll conquer the world. Fall prey to your mind, you become a victim of the world. So the entire aspect is dealing with the mind. You're harnessing the mind and finally transcending the mind. The great John Milton said, your mind in its own place can make a hell out of a heaven or a heaven out of a hell. It's all in your mind, friends. It's all in your mind. If you never mind, the mind will take over. But if you mind your mind, when you police your mind, it's a different life altogether. That's the reason all these masters highlighted that the creators know. They said the creators know one of the main messages, to be born as a human being is one of the greatest blessings. I mean, I want to tell you that the science proves it. The science proves it. They say the universe is made up of millions, or they say the universe is made up of millions of galaxies, and our galaxy Milky Way is just one among them. I repeat, this universe is made up of millions of galaxies, and our galaxy Milky Way is just one among them. And in our galaxy Milky Way, it is made up of millions of solar systems, and our solar system is just one among them. It's just one among them. And in our solar system, there are many planets, and our planet Earth is just a small speck of dust in it. It's a small speck of dust in it. The next part is even more interesting. In this small speck of dust called the planet Earth, there are 8.4 million kinds of species in this planet Earth. And in that, human beings are just one among them. Human beings, I repeat, there are 8.4 million species in planet Earth, of which a human being is just one among the 8.4 million species. And the so-called creator had given a little edge for a human being than anyone else because of the choice of action, the purushartha, the potential to make choice, and the intellect, the buddhi, the equipment with which you can make choices. So we have a little edge over all other creatures because every 8.399 million creatures live at a particular design of life. They cannot improve or depreciate themselves. A human being alone has this divine quality. You can either raise yourself to the ultimate state of perfection or you can be worse than any other animal. So you have this choice. It's right. See, in this, isn't it a phenomenal choice? Therefore they said, your mind in its own place can make a hell out of a heaven or a heaven out of a hell. Friends, heaven or hell are not geographical locations. It is a state of mind. It is a state of mind. So, and among the human beings, there are over 6.5 billion people. And how many people have the right guidance? How many of us are using themselves? Most of them, they are only developing their intelligence. See, you use your mind and intellect to gain proficiency in a subject. That is intelligence. Through Vedanta, through the spiritual alignment, you are able to study the mind and intellect itself. That's very different. See, you're using the mind and intellect to gain proficiency in a particular subject. When you have the spiritual alignment, when Vedanta helps you to understand the mind and intellect, it gives you that objectivity with which you can deal with life. It's very important, friends. So, therefore, if you're able to deal with it, that's when of the 6.5 billion people, how many have this kind of a spiritual interest? And of those people, how many are able to have the guidance? And of those people who have the interest and the guidance, how many are consistent? Shraddha, in the 17th chapter of the Gita, one entire chapter is dedicated to consistency of purpose. Your Shraddha, your determination. Eventually, friends, that it is your intensity of pursuit which makes all the difference. You could be in the best of environment, but the intensity of pursuit, Shraddha, helps you. Therefore, why I am telling you is, again, to be born as a human being is the greatest blessing. So, use the guidance given by the great gurus. They have given out, they laid the plan of yoga and meditation. They have suggested the sattva, rajas and tamas, and they also suggest that you have the purushartha and the intellect. You use it in such a way that you are, that three aspects, you are a continuous learner. Knowledge, never stop gaining knowledge. When I say knowledge, not information, friends. You take in an information, you reflect upon it. When it makes sense, how do I implement in my life? Knowledge, continuous knowledge. I remember my guru used to tell me, you can never beat me as a student. He used to tell me, proudly used to tell me. And I'm very much with it. He could be 94. He's still a student of life. He learns. It is, gain that, be a continuous learner. When learning stops, your evolution stops, friends. You keep learning until a state of transcendence. The next is skills. When I say skills, each one has their swadharma, their nature. There is this innate nature in each one of us. Identify it. If you don't know, get guidance, get help. Do not miss out on it. Don't follow paradharma. Don't follow alien nature. Do not be a victim of herd instinct. What decides your day? Does money decide how you spend your day? I mean, money is a wonderful factor, friends, but money alone should not be the factor in deciding what kind of a work you take up. Pick up a work which inherently you want to do. Your swadharma, your own nature. And having identified it, improve on it. How do you improve on it? Consistency, cooperation. You understand you have a skill set, but you need to cooperate with one and all. Your skills, you keep working on it. And as a result, you become more proficient. And that's why work becomes worship. In fact, work becomes effortless. And the great Swami Ramatirtha gave a suggestion to all humanity in this aspect. He said, intense work is rest. I wish we all reach a stage where we experience this inherently, in a profound way. Intense work is rest. And the third aspect is attitudes. The knowledge you keep gaining regularly or consistently. And then skills. You have identified your skills, you are improving on it. The third is your attitudes, friends. What is an attitude? Without changing anything externally, with a slight change in the way I think, feel and act, everything about my life improves. I repeat, friends. Without changing anything externally, with a slight change in the way I think, I feel and I act, everything about my life changes. Attitude. That's why they say gratitude is an attitude. An attitude of gratitude changes everything. Express gratitude to one and all. This is an occasion, but don't expect gratitude from anybody. It's not a pessimistic view, it's a realistic view. You do your best and leave it at that. Express your gratitude to one and all, but do not expect gratitude from others. Forgiveness is not just an attitude. That attitude of gratitude at times manifests as forgiveness as well. They say forgiveness is to set the prisoner free and to finally understand that the prisoner was none other than yourself. Attitude. You put your peace above everything else. That's why they say forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. The weak can never ever forgive. So, attitudes. Cleanliness is an attitude. In fact, one of the qualities for bhakta is suchi, cleanliness. Beautifully highlighted, because they say if you're not aware of the external dirt around you, how will you be aware of the internal dirt in you, in the form of desires, in the form of cravings, in the form of greed or obsession? So, think about it, friends. Continuously gain this knowledge. Be a seeker. Let the student in you never perish. Let the student always progress. Skills. Work on your skills. In whatever way. You want to bring in technology? Bring in technology, improve on your skills. Learn. And then attitudes. It is your attitude which will... See, spiritual growth is nothing but an attitude which has become in your life. That spirituality is nothing but a very profound, refined attitude in life. And as a result, that sense of acceptance comes in. It's a very powerful acceptance. Whatever it is, it is. Whatever is not, is not. Acceptance. So, when you are able to deal your life in such a way, a guru is one who paves the way for all these experiences, friend. That's why I say, any amount of gift you give to your guru can never equal their gift to us, which is evolution, which is growth, which is tranquility, which is transcendence, which is enlightenment. They pave the way for all seekers, not just now, forever, friends. That's the impact of a guru. Therefore, my suggestion to one and all, never get your ego involved with this beautiful source called Guru. Never get your ego involved. We will never understand the ways of a master, but that is the ways of the master. To protect my growth, I do not get my ego involved with my sources of growth. When it comes to the most important aspects of my life, relationships of my life, Mata, Pita, Guru and Devam, I process that relationship only with a sense of reverence, profound respect and gratitude. No ego allowed in it. Because the moment you get your ego involved, whatever you gain from that source just evaporates, just disappears. It's not their curse, friends. It is your own ignorance we are doing it. So watch out. A suggestion to all seekers, a fine-tuning. That's why this Gurupurnima we reinforce ourselves. We reinstate our conviction in our path and we realign ourselves. In case there is a slight ego which was involved, I alter it. I don't allow it to manifest. And I process it with gratitude. That's why wherever there is gratitude, there cannot be a disturbance. And wherever there is disturbance, there is a lack of gratitude. So work on your knowledge, keep improving your skills, better your attitude, and never ever get your ego involved. And it drains everything away. It just, everything you have gained seem to have evaporated because of this ugly quality called ego. You see, ego, the word ego, E-G-O, is an exaggerated glorification of oneself. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The ego is a perpetual beggar. It doesn't help. It could manifest as an inferiority complex or a superiority complex. Both doesn't work. Have an objective, philosophical attitude to life. Why I'm telling you is, in spite of all the efforts, we are losing the battle against our minds. It's interesting. The research shows over 300 million people suffer from depression. It's almost the size of the United States. 260 million people are living with fear and anxiety disorders. Over 800,000 people end their lives due to mental health issues. Over 50% of the mental health issues begin by the age it is 14, and in that of the 50% of mental issues which begin by the age of 14, 90% goes undetected, unnoticed. Over 60% of the youngsters have what the medical terms call as ADD and ADHD, attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. You got to Google it and find out what I'm saying. We are losing the battle with our own minds, friends. Mental health, mental well-being is going to be is a silent pandemic now. So it is essential we work on ourselves, we raise ourselves, and as a result, we don't become a victim of our mind, friends. We don't become a victim of our mind. That is why there are so many wonderful factors which has been provided for us. If only we are aware of it innately, intensely, you will do your best. The Creator's note, he says, every human being is made up of the 5 elements: water, air, fire, space, and earth, of which water almost occupies over 70%. Then comes earth, and air and space are almost 6%, and fire is 4%. I mean, can you imagine, we are all a combination of these 5 elements, and you will understand that we are all a combination, not when we are alive. When a person is dead, you see, the first air is gone, then the fire is gone, then the body starts oozing out of water, and when it is buried, it becomes the earth, We can imagine these 5 elements in a particular combination, which is a gross body, along with the subtle body, which is a mind and intellect. The emotions and thoughts subtle because you can't see it, but it is there. Isn't it a fabulous combination? And a few more aspects I want to share what science reveals about an individual. You say every human being has 50 trillion cells. Can you imagine? 50 trillion cells. We are a continent. They say you are a continent, not just a single person. And every cell has almost 1.4 volts. Not much of electricity, but 1.4 volts. 50 trillion cells in an individual multiplied by 1.4 volts. It is 700 trillion volts of electricity in one body right now. That's probably why they say our brains generate 4.5 times more electricity than a lightning. Can you imagine? Or 4.5 times electricity than a lightning. You may ask, why are you saying all this? Friends, so many factors are functioning in for our favor. All that we need to do is work on the areas where we have to work on. Further information science provides. In our nervous system, information travels as fast as 431 kilometers per hour. The resolution of our eyes is 576 megapixel. It's incredible. That's the reason you could be sitting on a beach on an evening and you can clearly see the moon. They say just to register a sight, there is Sarita. 1 million operation takes place in the retina. 1 million operation just to register a sight. Forget how you process that experience. Registering a sight, 1 million operation takes place. And further research suggests the combined length of a small and the large intestine is about 15 feet in length. Our heart starts beating, starts working much before we are born, and it continues to work till the time we are there. You know what happens when it stops working? When you have a cut in your body, the blood, your blood clots in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can bleed ourselves to death. These are all some aspects of our physical body, friends. And we have not done anything to it. It is a design given to us, given to all of the creatures as well. But we are given one more factor, which is the Purushartha and the Buddhi, the potential to make choices, and then the intellect to make the choices. A little further, I'm sure, the body functions as a machine with 6 processes. The cardiovascular system transports blood throughout the body. Respiratory system takes in oxygen and pumps out carbon dioxide. Digestive system takes in food, breaks down into nutrients and sends out the waste. Your nervous system is the control center. These scientists say it transports messages from the brain. Your muscular system provides body movement, which is essential for us to keep in the right ways. The skeletal system gives your body the shape, the support, and protection. And they say all these, the 6 processes function together, function in the sense of a cooperative endeavor, so that we can survive, progress, evolve. I can go on and on. They say the elements can be even further broken down to atoms, protons, neurons, electrons. And then these chemicals, endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, and oxytocin. There are so many aspects which is functioning in our favor, friends. All these are gross matters. But I'm saying there is so much which is in sync for our evolution. All that essential is we've got to align ourselves to the highest disciplines of life, the highest truths of life. And once you do that, it's a different life altogether, friends. It is that is when we understand that being born as a human being, is the greatest blessing. The Kenopanishad so aptly highlights. It says, if you have gained the truth, or if you have gained self-realization, truth is established. If you are otherwise, it's a supremely great loss. Mahati Vinashti, says the master in the Upanishad. A supremely great loss. If you have attained that ultimate state, the truth is established. Otherwise, it's a supremely great loss. So, my pledge, and let us have that pledge in our life now, that we will dedicate our efforts, we will discipline ourselves, we will abide by the spiritual alignment and the guidance of the great gurus. They have done their part, friends. It is not just okay to value your master, but you should master the values given by the master. So, let's be like the pole vaulter. Let's be like that yogi who uses these spiritual practices, who aligns his or her life to the spiritual practices. And as a result, it's so beautiful to grow in our own eyes, friends. So beautiful to grow in our own eyes. You transcend. Let us not be those kind of people who fulfill a desire and upgrade a desire. Let us be those kind of seekers. Vedantins, where you fulfill a desire and transcend the desire. These masters gave the 4 ashramas. Brahmacharya ashrama. It's a celibate. You understand the laws of life. And then grahastha ashrama. You give a direction to your desires. You discipline your desire. Get into you're a householder, grahastha ashrama, and then vanaprastha ashrama, where you have done your yogas. You have aligned yourself spiritually. There is a certain sense of a withdrawal, mental withdrawal from the world. And finally, sannyasi. When I say sannyasi, it is not wearing ochre color robes or being in the Himalayas, where through meditation, through the yoga and the meditation, you have become one with that supreme reality. As a sannyas, you're a recluse. In fact, that is when your levels of your charity is the highest. What the Gita highlights is Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. And their contribution is profound. That is why on the day of Gurupurnima, we understand, we honor, we appreciate, and we utilize this great work done by the lineage of great gurus, friends. Lineage of great gurus. They have done their part. Should we not do our part now? Isn't it essential that we appreciate, or not just appreciate, we imbibe this wisdom given by these great masters for our evolution? Why should I get my ego involved in it? I will utilize it in a way which is beneficial for my growth. And that was their call. And on the day of Gurupurnima, let us resolve ourselves. Let us take this pledge that I will be consistent. I will enhance my intensity. I will do my best. I will not be another statistical entity who just came, who lived and then passed away. I will be that person who made their life count. Their life count. I always believe that your birth could be ordinary, but your death should be glorious. Glorious. The fact that you lived your life well, you touched humanity in such profound ways. That is living up to the prestige and grandeur of a human being. Prestige and grandeur of a human being. Can we be such a person? And if you're able to do that, I'm telling you, friends, when the appointed time comes, take a salute. That was a fabulous life. That was a fabulous life. In the words of Shakespeare, all the world's a stage and all men and women are merely players. All the world's a stage and all men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. Exit is sure. Sir, you made your life count by understanding that this life is a blessing. Being born as a human being is a blessing. You are able to align yourself to the great values given by these masters, and as a result, you have achieved what you have to achieve in your life, which is transcendence, which is enlightenment, which is the right thing to do. So, let's take this pledge. Gurupurnima is an opportunity. Let us not miss out. Let this not be like a New Year resolution. They say, let all your troubles be like your New Year resolutions. After that, it fades away. So, let us take that strong pledge and live to our glory. Wishing you all great aspects in life, great experiences in life. Wishing you all evolution, growth, peace, tranquility, transcendence, and enlightenment. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Those who wish to continue with the weekly lectures could do so. The information appears on the slides.